Hello friends, welcome to Finance MCQ. Friends, today is lecture number 26 and we will be covering some more important MCQs on the topic marginal costing, useful for your NHPC Senior Accountant Exam. Now friends, let's start the video. Friends, the first question is, which of the following is an example of a discretionary fixed cost? Option A, advertising expenditure. Option B, rent of the factory building. Option C, depreciation of machinery. Option D, salaries of administrative staff. So, friends, here the correct answer is option A, advertising expenditure. Friends, discretionary fixed costs arise from annual management decisions, for example, advertising and R&D budgets. Friends, they can be altered in short term, unlike committed fixed costs like rent. Moving on.
Friends, before moving on to the next question, I would like to inform at Finance MCQ, we are offering NHPC Senior Accountant Exam course. The course covers the entire technical syllabus, that is 140 marks out of 200 marks. An entire course is having subject-wise, topic-wise MCQs, including past exams questions from other PSUs of similar nature. And this course also include NHPC previous year exam papers, which will be helpful for your exam preparation. So do avail this opportunity. Visit Finance MCQ website, take a demo of NHPC course and start your preparation. Further friend, you can use coupon code NHSA100 to get flat 100 rupees off on the course price. So now let's move to the next question.
Friend, next question. CVP analysis is based on the assumption that option A, variable cost per unit changes with the volume of output. Option B, fixed cost changes with the level of activity. Option C, sales price per unit is variable. And last option, the product mix remains constant. So, friends, what should be the correct answer here? Friends, it should be option D, the product mix remains constant. Friends, for CVP analysis to be accurate, for a multi-product company, it will assume that the proportion of each product sold, the sales mix remains the same. Moving on. Friends, next question. If the margin of safety is rupees 20,000 and profit volume ratio is 40%, what is the profit? Option A 8,000, option B rupees 50,000, option C rupees 12,000, option D 20,000. So friends, to solve this question, first of all you should know the formula for margin of safety. So friends, margin of safety is equal to profit divided by profit volume ratio. So friends, in this equation we want the profits. Obviously we'll have to multiply 20,000 with 0.40. So the answer will be option A, rupees 8,000. Moving on, friends, next question. Differential cost is the difference between the cost of option A, two different periods, option B, two alternative decisions, option C, fixed and variable cost, option D, standard cost and actual cost. So friends, what is the correct answer? Friends, remember that differential cost will be always the difference between the cost of two alternative decisions. So friends, differential cost, also known as incremental cost, is the change in the total cost that results from selecting one alternative over another. Moving on, friends, next question. The break-even chart is a graphical representation of option A, the cash flow of a company, option B, the financial position of the company, option C, the relationship between cost, volume, and profit, option D, the performance of a company over a period of time. So, friends, the break-even chart relates to cost, volume, and profit. Friends, this chart visually depicts total cost, total revenues, and profit or loss at different levels of sales volume. Moving on, friends, next question. Which of the following would increase the break-even point? Option A, an increase in fixed cost. Option B, an increase in selling price per unit. Option C, a decrease in variable cost per unit. And last option, a decrease in the number of units sold. So friends, what should be the correct answer? Friends, correct answer is option A. That says an increase in fixed cost. So friends, PEP is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So an increase in the numerator, that is fixed cost, will obviously increase the break-even point. That means more units must be sold to cover the higher cost. Moving on, friends, next question. Composite break-even point is calculated for a company that sells option A in a single market, option B a single product, option C services only, and last option multiple products. So what should be the answer? Friends, composite break even point is calculated for a company that sells multiple products. So friends, when a company sells several products with different contributions, a composite or weighted average contribution is used to calculate the overall break even point, assuming a constant sales mix. Moving on. Friends, next question. A company is considering accepting a special order. The order will not affect regular sales. The order should be accepted if option A, the revenue from the order exceeds the incremental cost of the order. Option B, the order price is higher than the full cost of the product. Option C says the company has spare capacity. And last option, the order price is higher than the variable cost of the product. So, friends, what is the correct answer? Friends, here the correct answer is option A. The revenue for the order from the order exceeds the incremental cost of the order. So, friends, the decision hinges on whether the special order generates a positive contribution. Fixed costs are generally irrelevant as they will be incurred anyway. Moving on, friends, next question. If production is equal to sales, then the profit under marginal costing will be dash the profit under absorption costing. So the options are less than, option B greater than, option C equal to, and last option cannot be determined. So friends, here the production is equal to sales. So the profit will be option C equal to the profit under absorption costing. So friends, the explanation is when production equals sales, there is no change in inventory levels. So therefore, no fixed overhead is deferred in inventory or released from it, making the profits under both system identical. Moving on, friends, next question. Contribution margin is also known as option A marginal income, option B gross profit, option C net profit, and last option operating profit. So, what is the correct answer? Friends, it is option A marginal income. So, friends, marginal income is another term used for contribution margin, representing the income available to cover fixed cost. Moving on, friends, next question. The primary purpose of cost volume profit analysis is to study the relationship between option A assets, liabilities, and equity, option B cost volume and profit, option C revenues, expenses, and net income, option D cash inflows, outflows, and net cash flow. So, friends, here the most obvious answer would be option B that says cost, volumes, and profits. So, friends, CVP analysis is a management accounting tool that examines how changes in cost, both fixed and variable, and sales volume affect a company's profit. Moving on, friends, next question. A company has a break even point of 5,000 units. If the company sells 7,000 units, the margin of safety in units is option A 2000 units, option B 12,000 units, option C 5,000 units, option D 7,000 units. So, friends, what is the formula for margin of safety? Please comment in the comment box below. Friends, margin of safety is total sales minus break even sales. So, here total sales is 7,000, break even sales is 5,000. So, the answer has to be option A 2000 units. Moving on, friends, next question. Sunk costs are option A irrelevant for decision making, option B relevant for decision making, option C future cost, and last option avoidable cost. So, friends, here the correct answer is option A irrelevant for decision making. Friends, sunk costs are historical costs that are already been incurred and cannot be changed by any future decisions. Therefore, they are irrelevant for decision making. For example, friends, if a company spends money on advertising a product and later on decides to discontinue the product, friends, then the advertising costs are sunk costs since it is no longer useful in any decision making. Moving on, friends, next question. Opportunity cost is the option A total cost of the product, option B actual cost incurred in the past, option C benefit of the next best alternative foregone, option D cost of a missed opportunity. So, what is the correct answer? Friends, opportunity cost is the benefit of the next best alternative foregone. Friends, opportunity cost represents the potential benefit lost by choosing one alternative over another. It is a key concept in decision making. Let's take an example, friends. Suppose a company decides to open a EV manufacturing plant in Gujarat, but eventually decided to shift it to Bangalore. So, friends, the potential benefit lost of choosing Bangalore over Gujarat will be the opportunity cost. Moving on, next question. Friends, if fixed costs are rupees 20,000 and break even point is 4,000 units, what is the contribution per unit? Option A rupees 5, option B says rupees 4, option C says rupees 10, and last option says rupees 2. So, friends, we should know the formula for break even point in terms of unit by now. So, friends, break-even point in terms of unit will be fixed cost upon contribution per unit. So, friends, in the formula we have fixed cost as well as break-even points. So, contribution per unit we will get by dividing fixed cost and break-even points. So, that is 20,000 divided by 4. That is option A, rupees 5. Moving on, friends, next question. The term cost driver refers to option A, an activity that causes a cost to be incurred. Option B, the person responsible for a cost. Option C, the total cost of a product. Option D, a method of allocating cost. So friends, pause the video, think over it. Cost driver, a very basic concept. Friends, cost driver refers to option A, that says an activity that causes a cost to be incurred. So friends, a cost driver is any factor that has a cause and effect relationship with the incurrence of a cost. For example, the number of machine hours is a cost driver for electricity cost. Moving on, friends, which of the following statement is true regarding marginal costing? Option A, it is not suitable for decision making. Option B, it is a method of costing. Option C, it is a technique of costing. And last option, it values stock at total cost. So, what is the correct answer? Friends, marginal costing is a technique of costing. So, friends, marginal costing is considered a technique for analysis and decision making rather than a distinct method of cost ascertainment like job costing or process costing. Moving on, friends, next question. The decision to drop a product line should be based on whether option A, the fixed cost allocated to the product line can be avoided. Option B, the product line is making a net profit. Option C, the contribution margin of the product line is positive. And last option, the sales of the product line are declining. So, friends, pause the video, read each of the options carefully. You will get to know that the correct answer is option C, the contribution margin of the product line is positive. So, friends, if a product line is generating a positive contribution, it is helping to cover the company's common fixed cost. Dropping it would reduce overall company profit. So, unless the associated avoidable fixed costs are greater than the lost contribution. Moving on, in a CVP graph, the total cost line starts from option A, the fixed cost level on the y axis, option B, the origin, option C, the variable cost level on the y axis, option D, the break even point. So friends, the CVP graph, the total cost line will start from option A, the fixed cost level on the y-axis. And why is that? Because even at zero production volume, the company will incur total fixed cost. Therefore, the total cost line begins on the vertical y-axis at the level of total fixed cost. Moving on, friends, next up, practical question here. The company sells a product for rupees 50 per unit, variable cost are rupees 30 per unit, and fixed cost are rupees 1 lakh. How many units must be sold to earn a profit of rupees 50,000? Option A, 7,500 units. Option B, 5,000 units. Option C, 2,500 units. And last option, 10,000 units. So friends, what is the formula for calculating the required units here? So friends, the required units will be fixed cost plus desired profit upon contribution per unit. So friends, here fixed cost is given as 1 lakh, desired profit is given as rupees 50,000, and contribution per unit will be rupees 50 minus 30, that is 20 per unit. So substituting all the values in the formula, we will be getting option A, 7,500 units. That's all for today, friends. I hope these series of lectures are useful for your exam. Do revise them before your exam. All the best, and thank you very much for watching.